Welcome to Plan9Crunch Reads a Page of Genre Literature. My name is Doug Gibson, and today we're going to read Robert Louis Stevenson in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now, many of us have seen the movies with Frederick March. I believe he won an Oscar for his performance, and also the later one in the early 40s with Spencer Tracy, who I think is very menacing in that movie also. However, it should be stressed that Robert Louis Stevenson's novel is not as intense as the film adaptations. It's more of a psychological account of the good Dr. Jekyll suddenly adopting a more coarse attitude, who is Mr. Hyde. And we read a page of these famous genre novels, and we're going to do that right now. And I'll start right here. And I urge everyone to read these books if you're intrigued by what we're reading. Mr. Utterson stepped out and touched him on the shoulder as he passed. Mr. Hyde, I think. Mr. Hyde shrank back with a hissing intake of the breath. But his fear was only momentary, and though he did not look the lawyer in the face, he answered coolly enough, "That is my name. What do you want?" "I see you are going in," returned the lawyer. "I am an old friend of Dr. Jekyll's, Mr. Utterson of Gaunt Street. You must have heard my name, and meeting you so conveniently, I thought you might admit me." "You will not find Dr. Jekyll. He is from home," replied Mr. Hyde, inserting the key. And then suddenly, but still without looking up, "How well did you know me?" he asked. "On your side," said Mr. Utterson. "Will you do me a favor?" "With pleasure," replied the other. "What shall it be?" "Will you let me see your face?" asked the lawyer. Mr. Hyde appeared to hesitate, and then, as if upon some sudden reflection, fronted about with an air of defiance, and the pair stared at each other pretty fixedly for a few seconds. "Now I shall know you again," said Mr. Utterson. "It may be useful." "Yes," returned Mr. Hyde. "It is as well we have met, and apropos, you should have my address." And he gave a number of a street in Soho. Good God, thought Mr. Utterson. Can he, too, have been thinking of the will? But he kept his feelings to himself and only grunted acknowledgment of the address. "And now," said the other, "how did you know me?" "By description," was the reply. "Whose description?" "We have common friends," said Mr. Utterson. "Common friends?" echoed Mr. Hyde a little hoarsely. "Who are they?" "Jekyll, for instance," said the lawyer. "He never told you!" cried Mr. Hyde with a flush of anger. "I did not think you would have lied." "Come," said Mr. Utterson, "there's not fitting language." The other snarled aloud with a savage laugh, and the next moment, with extraordinary quickness, he had unlocked the door and disappeared into the house. The lawyer stood a while when Mr. Hyde left him, the picture of disquietude. So that's our page and a half of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Plan9Crunch will read a page of genre literature every week, and we thank you for taking the time to listen, and we hope you explore these. We've done Dracula, we have done Godzilla, and other books, and thank you for your time. I'm Doug Gibson, and that's a wrap.